Hey everyone, welcome back. We're here at the shop today. Actually, in my shop, I got it put together enough to do some work out of here. We got Jay's Boosted Classics out of Houghton Lake. We got his 468 here on the engine stand. I'm going to be tearing it apart and going through it. This motor, guys, is a fresh build. It's probably got 5 minutes runtime on it from what I'm understanding. He had a machine shop on the west side of the state, Grand Rapids area, do some work to the motor, and they got it back. He put it in the truck. They took it down the road, and after it heated up, it lost all oil pressure. And he called me up and he asked me, he said, well, what do you think it could be? And I said, well, what'd you have done to the motor? He said that they had it bored, they had a board out. They had the crank turn 1010, and I said, well, did it not tick? He said, no, it ran great until it warmed up, then all the oil pressure was gone. So I told him, I said, well, it could be a number of things, but the first thing I'd check is make sure that they put the right bearings on the crank, because I've seen it before where the crank gets turned and they don't put the right side, they put standard bearings on it. So he said, well, the motor's still in the truck, so I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to bring it to you. But then a couple days later, he gave me a call up on the phone, and he told me that he did check it, and it was actually a standard bearing on a 1010 crank. And it's showing heat in the crank and in the rods where they got hot. So we don't know if it actually spun a bearing yet or what's going on with it. This is gonna be another little build series that we're gonna do for him. But I need to get it tore down. That way he can order his pipe, or order his rotating assembly. And like I said, he's getting that from Skip Pipe Performance out of South Carolina. And it's a whole complete scat rotating assembly. It comes with a good crank, rods, and pistons. But I got to CC the heads and figure out what they are. It's got high domes in it right now. And he wants to keep the compression up there, right on the verge of, he don't want to run race fuel all the time. So we're going to shoot for 10.7 to 1. And keep them in the pump gas, the premium 93 or 91 octane range. And he could actually put 110 in it and then spray it, because he is going to be using nitrous on it. It's in a short box, full size 1500 pickup truck. 80s or late 80s, early 90s short box pickup. He gave me a video of the motor running in the truck, and it sounds damn good. It's a brand new motor. Doesn't even have 5 minutes runtime on it, and the bottom end's already, he caught it in time. It didn't blow up. But as soon as he found out the oil pressure was dropping as the motor was getting warmer and warmer, he cut it off. So I told him that was good. So we're going to do this for Jay. We're going to get it all figured out, and that way he can get, I guess the parts are going to be like 3 weeks out. So he actually sent me a video of the truck with the motor in it running. I'm going to insert that video, or the video that he sent me, into this video, and let you guys check it out. It sounds nasty. It definitely got some torque and horsepower. So we're going to see if we can get it fixed up for him. But yeah, I got the shop kind of put together enough. I mean, it ain't all the way together yet. The old S10's here, and no cabinet over there, but I still got to get the back room area cleaned up. This is actually going to be my engine building room in due time. As you can see, it's still trashed over there. I'm starting to get my torches and all my rims and tires, the boys' weight machine, all that stuff taken care of. But we do have enough room here to do some work out of, so that's what we're going to do. And Jay is lucky enough to be the first one, so. All right, guys. We got our intake off. And I want to show you guys something. If we run into a problem, you see that lifter right there? See if I can get. They got a cam button on here. They're running gear drive, and they're running a cam button. And this is no roller. This is just a. I'm thinking it's a hydraulic. It's flat tap it, but with this cam button on here, it shoved the camshaft back too far. You see that lifter right here, how it's off the lobe? Let me see if I can get the light right. That lifter's, the camshaft's pushed back too far. That lifter's damn near running into that other lobe on number 2 cylinder. It'd be number 2 intake lobe on the cam. So the cam is actually pushed back too far in the block. When you're using a hydraulic flat tappet, you don't have to run a cam button. They're self-aligning, but now that, I mean, even this lifter right there, right here, you can see how far it's off on that, on the cam, and on the back side, it's, I mean, that's not good. I'm going to have to call Jay and let him know. That was probably the issues that I was seeing earlier with the valve train not being right. But yeah, that's not good, guys. Already just the intake off, and we're already running into issues. Somebody that put the motor together didn't know how to set the, let me look at the gear. And he's running a bronze gear. Holy shit, that thing looks sharp. A bronze gear on a standard crank you don't need. Yeah, the phasing on that ain't, it's on the outer edge of the teeth too, so yeah. You can actually see metal chips. I don't know if you guys can see them. Metal chips in between the gears there. And this gear right here is wore flat and sharp. And this gear right here, there's metal chips all in there where it's starting to eat that gear, and it's only got 5 minutes of run time on this. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm not the type of person that throws anybody under the bus. You know, especially a machine shop. If I don't know, like I said, I'm not even going there. I'm getting paid to rebuild this. So I'm going to rebuild it my way, and I'll get everything put back in, yeah, see, this is actually, you know, your thrust for your cam. You know, this sets your end play. It's hard to explain. That sets your end play, how deep your cam can come back. That should actually be drove in farther, and then when you run your gear drive, you shouldn't have to have your cam buttons here. These are made for solid roller cams, hydraulic rollers. That way the cam can't walk back and forth. But with it not being measured, and you know, because a lot of times you got to shave off the backside for the depth you want for what timing chain cover you're running. Yeah, you can actually see, here's a good example right here for you guys. You can actually see on the timing chain cover, it was wearing into that. And it's shoving the cam backwards in the motor, which in turn is letting these lifters, I'm surprised the lifters haven't collided. So, I mean, this is why he's having me do it. He had his doubts. Good thing that they didn't keep running, because I foresee a lot of problems. Yeah, I mean, that was actually, yeah, you can hear it catching on my fingernail. It started wearing right into that timing chain. So it's, you know, you're supposed to have, what is it, right off the top of my head, 5 to 7 thousandths play in there. And usually these cam buttons are spring loaded. and this one's not. It's just shoved right together. Usually they're spring loaded. I mean, and that'll let the, the cam. It'll put just the right amount of pressure on that cam, but not good. I'm gonna have to get a hold of Jay, let him know that, which he'll know before this video posts. I already talked to him, and for what camshaft this is, he don't need none of this stuff. He needs just a regular adjusters, which you can see. Look at the height here versus here, and then down here you got height. This one's way down. I mean, none of this stuff is really lined up. So, I mean, even on you got a little height here, versus here on the intake side. The exhaust side, they all look like they're pretty much up on this side. This one's way up. This one's down farther. The intakes, that one, the intake's buried right down. Yeah, definitely. The valve train is out of line also. So. I got the motor tore down. You got I ran the part number on these. They're negative 20 dome, negative 20 cc dome. I cc'd the heads out. They're 119. So we know what parts he's gonna need to get for to be able to get it. So I'm actually going to take this block over to my buddy Phil at the machine shop, and we're going to get it zero decked because it's like 60 in the hole. So we're going to get this zero deck because the calculations, we're going to go with a negative 25 cc dome, forged piston, the I-beam rods, scat I-beam rods, the scat crank. The rods are forged, the crank's forged, pistons are forged. It comes with a harmonic balancer, a flywheel, which is fully balanced too. So it's a pretty good deal for what he is getting for the money. I think it was $1,595, a fully balanced rotating assembly with rings. You get your choice of dome heights. So with zero deck with the 119 cc heads, he's going to be 10-7 to 1. So that's perfect for what he's doing. I'm going to have to file fit the rings because he is going to be spraying a nitrous to it. So I'm going to file the rings myself before I assemble it. Give them extra end gap. We're going to get the issues that we had with the valve train. We got to get longer rocker studs because when I was tearing the rocker arms apart, there was only like maybe 3 threads showing, maybe 2. Like I said, there was not enough threads. I actually took one of them off. I actually had to push the rocker down into the cup of the lifter, little preload, just to get the nut to start. So, but we're going to get everything all taken care of. So we should be good to go. So we're going to order the parts probably tonight and get them coming. Like I said, they're 3 weeks out. I'm going to fully disassemble the crank and rods on this. I'm actually going to be doing a video, a super clean video coming up. and I'm going to degrease the block and do that. So I'm get everything all cleaned up and ready to go. The cam bearings are in good shape still, so we're all set there. Beautiful. You know, like I said, the cylinders look in good shape. So I'm going to do a dingle ball hone on it and be good to go. So that's going to complete for this video, guys. Like I said, it's going to be a multi-series video on Jay's Big Block. But for now, we know what we got to get. We're going to get them on order, and when everything gets here and we get everything back for reassembly, we'll bring you guys back for part 2, and I'll bring you guys along step by step on ring filing and degreeing a cam in and stuff like that. So until next time, guys, I appreciate you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.